Hands together one more time. This song sent in by Justin's uncle, Jeffrey Fletcher. What's going to happen now? We're going to, in a second, we're going to have another fellow artist and friend, Limo, come up. For now, we're going to have reflections by Dr. Naila Gilliam. You know? Okay. All right. Y'all give it up for her as she makes her way to the stage. Dr. Naila Gilliam. Clap her all the way up to the stage, everybody. That was a fake out. That was such a fake out right there. See that? See what just happened there? All right. Was it? Yeah, we faked out the whole room, right? So we'll come back. We'll come back to Dr. Gilliam in a second. Limo, if you're ready. Okay. All right. Limo's making her way to the stage. So this is an artist originally went to school in Missouri, and well, you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
What I was gonna say is she's definitely another Dr. Gilliam. She ain't gonna fake us out like that. We gonna make sure everybody make sure y'all call her Dr. Gilliam. I don't even care what her real name is. That was it was the realest thing.
Right.
You definitely know she was coming up.
We're prepared for her to be Dr.
I just wanted to say that. Y'all make some noise right now for Limo. Let's go.
I was blessed to know Justin for at least 3 to 5, I think, years that I've been in Philadelphia. He's one of the artists that I've performed with on many different events and shows in Philly. Definitely talented, gifted gentleman, and he reminded me of Stevie Wonder. It's funny that you say that. Like, he was my personal Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie. But yeah, I'm blessed to be here today with all of you. And this is a song by India Ari called I Am Light. My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream. need someone, I will be by your side. 'Cause there is a light that shines. There is a light that shines. There is a light that shines, special for you and me.
We have reflections coming up. Do we have Dominique Draper, Tabitha M, and Cynthia Campbell in the house tonight? Double check. Good. Y'all give it up. We have reflections from some of Justin's cousins coming up. Y'all give it up for Dominique Draper, Tabitha M, and Cynthia Campbell.
How's everybody doing tonight? I don't really know what to say. I just know that I had the privilege of growing up with the Graham family, and they were definitely just like my family as a kid. I was a ring bearer at my aunt's wedding at a very young age. I think I was like 6 or 3? 3, okay. I was 3, and I always remember thinking that I always felt like I looked like Justin a little bit. I always felt like, you know, we were the guys with the gaps in our teeth. That was always something that I became proud of growing up. And I remember first time I had seen Justin in a while, maybe 4 years ago when I first started dating my wife. We were at an open mic in Wilmington, and I had no idea Justin was performing. I just was there because I saw it on Facebook, and he was there performing, and I was just like, that's my cousin. And I'm looking at my wife like, I had no idea he was here. And I always knew my Alva had an amazing voice, and she comes from a long history of musicians, and Justin just wowed me. And then he came to Thanksgiving a couple years ago and sung for our family in our house, and man, I'm not good at this. He's gonna be missed a lot. His voice was infectious. I know as soon as I posted the video on Facebook, people were commenting like, "Oh my gosh, he's got it. He's the one." And I posted it the other day, and people didn't even know he passed, and people were still commenting, "Oh my goodness." And that's something that is forever gonna live on. That's something that's never gonna be stopped. And I love Justin's humor. They would always make fun of me for a saying I had as a kid when I was a baby. I guess, you know, excuse this, but we're all family here. But I guess I said something like, "I'm constipated, can't poop." And so at 25 years old, every time I see him, they bring it up. And we gotta talk about that. I'm almost 30 now, and I still can't live it down, so. But I love you, Justin. I love you guys. Good to see you guys again, and thank you for everybody for being here.
I'm Tabitha. I'm Justin's cousin. He was my best cousin. Me and Justin had a very derogatory relationship. We were very rude to one another. That was our thing. We joked on the most inappropriate things. I remember graduating from undergrad, and I graduated from ODU, and instead of him calling me to congratulate me, he said, well, I just called, you know, it wasn't a historically, you know, black college or university, but, you know, whatever, ODU. So, when I graduated, and I'm a registered nurse, and when I got my RN, he sent me a text, and he said, "See, you got your RN, you're still sleeping with the deans." And those, all jokes, of course. And when I got into grad school, he called me and he said, "Grad school, huh?" He was like, "Deans this time, or just regular professors?" With a lot of question marks. I posted my engagement on Facebook, and Justin called me, and he said, instead of saying congratulations on your engagement, he said, I see you've chosen another victim. Where is this wedding gonna be? And I said it's gonna be in Vegas. And he says, you always do too much. And I said, I want you to sing at my wedding. And I want you to sing More Than Butterflies. And that was probably one of the last conversations that I had with Justin. And he talked about, you know, Vegas is so far, and, you know, getting out there. And I said, well, don't worry about that. Just, I want you to sing More Than Butterflies, and I want you to sing me as I walk down the aisle. And he said, okay. On February 1st at 1:45 p.m., Ray Facebook called me, and I said, hello, are you being a stalker? Who calls people on Facebook? Like, who does this? And Ray said, where are you? And I said, I'm in my car. Are you on your way home? I'm leaving the store, you know, what's going on? And he says, well, it's no easy way to tell you this, but Justin died. And it was so surreal, because I guess you never really think, you know, with people being so young, and he was so alive, and he was, you know, he wasn't in any kind of trouble ever, and he wasn't out in these streets. And so I never would have thought, like, of all the things that Ray could have said to me that day over the phone, I never would have thought that it would have been that. And I'm gonna miss him more than anything. I'm just gonna miss, like, his laughs and his jokes, and no one joked on me the way Justin did. No one talked to me the way Justin did. No one made me laugh or pissed me off the way that Justin did.
About the math class.
No. Tell them about the math class. Okay, so here's the math class story. In high school at Norcom High School, go Greyhounds, Justin and I had the same geometry class, and our teacher had one arm. And so she would stand in class, and she had her little nubble, and she would roll it around all the time. And Justin sat directly behind me in class, and Justin would constantly joke on his teacher, and he would always say things, and you used to get extra credit for class participation, and Justin would always have the right answer. He would never get the extra credit, so I just started saying his answers. And so I would have like 100 extra credit points, and they were all Justin's, because Justin would never speak up and say it. So one day the teacher was messing with her arm, and he's nudging me. He's like, mark her, do what she's doing. And I'm like, no. And he's like, do what she's doing. And I'm like, stop, you're gonna get me in trouble, because she only sees me because I'm sitting in front of him. And she asked a question, because I'm being distracted by Justin. And she says, if there's a crack in the ground, in the concrete, how can you measure the depth of that crack? And Justin said, pour water in it. So I yelled out, pour water in it. And she pointed to me with her stub and then did like this and told me to get out of her classroom. Because that was the wrong answer. And I looked back at Justin, and Justin was like, why would you say that? Like, why? Why? So he comes down to like the second floor, because class is on the third floor, so he comes down to the second floor, and I'm sitting in school suspension, and he's at the door, and he's like this, just doing that the whole time. And I got in so much trouble when I got home for that, but it was like the funniest thing. And I was so mad at him, but he said, you know, he would say, if he was here, he would say, you shouldn't have been trying to steal my answers, so. But I'm gonna miss my friend. I'm gonna miss my best cousin a lot. We'll always have his music. I know that when More Than Butterflies first came out on iTunes, I didn't know how to work iTunes, and so I bought it twice. And so then he sent me a text and was like, you can buy other songs. Like, you have to just keep buying this one. And I was like, well, I didn't mean to, so. But I'm gonna miss him a lot. I know my uncle was the first person to put a guitar in his hand. And I remember when he got the guitar, and I looked and I said, what are you gonna do with a guitar if you don't know how to play it? You're gonna take guitar lessons? And he goes, no. And he's sitting on the edge of the chair, and he's holding the guitar, and he goes, I'm gonna put one finger here, and I'm gonna put one finger there. And while I'm looking at his hand, I don't see his hands on the guitar, so I look up at him, and he's sticking his middle finger up at me. And that was our relationship, and we did that all the time, and that's the only way we communicated with each other, and if it wasn't that, then we weren't talking about anything. It was either joking or we were quiet, and that was it, so, but I'm gonna miss him a lot, so, that's it.
Good afternoon, everyone. To my family, to all of our friends, to all of us who knew and loved Justin, the one. Justin and Raymond and Albert didn't know it, but when they named him Justin, it was ordained by God that he was named Justin. Why? Because Justin became the just creature who dealt fairly and honestly with all whose paths he crossed. An old man beyond his years, absolute and totally dedicated to his calling and creating and sharing love messages through his music. Also his ultimate message of the love of God. I have taken letters of his name to further describe the beautiful creature we all were so fortunate to have in our lives. J, just, based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair. Of the highest degree, he was a superlative adjective with an objective. U, he was understanding. The ultimate old soul, he shared unusual love. S, soulful, silly, knew when to be silent and observant. He had a silky style. Justin was smooth. Talkative, knew when to do that also. He would take your breath away with his music lyrics. I, intelligent, intuitive, interesting, informed, intoxicating, and innovative. He abhorred ignorance. I know you all have probably shared conversations with him about ignorant people. He would go on and on and on. Nice and naughty. A need to make people laugh, a need to share his positive energy. Our Justin, the man, his music, and his melody. We're better because we knew him.
Y'all put your hands together for It's so awesome to hear so many of the different interactions and that everybody has had with Justin. And I love the fact that the most unique factor, the common factor of that is the laughter and the jokes. And Justin was so hilarious. Like he would, and like somebody spoke about earlier, like he would joke and talk during the situation, and it wasn't ever in a disrespectful manner. It was actually that a light in whatever the situation was. And I was telling KP, and it was funny because I said it after that. I was telling KP, I was like, right now we'd be leaning over and Justin would be like, he said the hurtest, you know what I mean? Like, or he didn't like look at his shoe, like he didn't tie his other shoe. We gotta make sure that we tell him to tie his shoe. He'd be like, Justin, the man is singing right now. Let him sing. And it's like, oh. But I'm like, you're right. We do gotta tell him to tie his shoe. Like he was always that light and laughter and that fun. And musically, we connected on so many different shows and different opportunities and situations. And doing Sounds of Philly at Urban Art Gallery, it was one special moment where he had so many different artists come up, poets, singers, and everybody, and I met a lot of different people through there that I probably wouldn't have met in any other show or that took a while in the crossing. But in doing that, it was one situation that came to mind, and it was amazing because I didn't know. And when Justin told me, after a while we were sharing the drink, if y'all don't know what the drink was, nobody really knew what the drink was. It was 2 liquors Justin had behind. It was dark and it was light. We don't know what he poured in there, but that was the drink. And while we were sharing the drink, he said, hey, he said, call Legacy up. And I said, well, who's Legacy? And he said, that's my mom. That's my mom and my uncle. And I was like, what? Justin, your mama, they're here? And he's like, yeah. So right now, as I call Legacy up, I would like everybody to stand up and put your hands together right now. Put your hands loud. I need it 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 loud. Make some noise for Legacy.
You all can be seated. Thank you so much. This is a hard thing, but I can do it through Christ. Justin was my baby, big baby. And he called my daughter and I, letting us know how he was feeling, and we begged him to go to the ER. He didn't listen. Anyway, his spirit is here, his presence is here, and I'm so, as I said earlier, honored that God would choose me to mother such a gift. This is my brother Adolphus Fletcher, and this is the legacy. Our parents were musicians, and our family, God has gifted to be musicians. And we're doing this song because Justin loved to hear us, I'm told, do Summertime. So we're going to do a portion of Summertime. Justin, I want to say that he was a clown. He was so funny. I remember once a friend of the family's came by to visit, and I believe he was probably about 3. And she brought a friend of hers, and this friend had goo gobs of makeup on. And whenever something would happen in front of Justin, we would all be praying that he wouldn't say something, because he would say whatever he thought. And so she came in and she was sitting there, and he was just looking at her, staring at her. I was like, oh God, please don't let him embarrass me. Please don't let him embarrass me. And she said, why do you keep staring at me? He's so cute, but he keeps staring at me. And he said, I'm staring at you because you look like a clown. He said crayon. But what he was telling her is she looked like a clown. And so that didn't change. As he got older, he said whatever was on his mind. And so now we're going to do this classic, Summertime. Summertime, summertime, it's summertime, 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 don't you cry, don't you cry, don't you
Y'all make some more noise for Legacy right now. So at the same day, at the same show, I prayed. Was you there that day? I think then, because I called y'all back up. I think I called. Yeah, you were there that day. All right. And I called him back up to sing. And Justin was like, oh, and I was like, Justin, I have to. Ain't no way y'all gonna be here and I gotta call y'all back up to sing. And but in that same day, it was another young man. Now, you know, Justin, like I said, Justin had so many different performers come up from all different areas, and he would, I mean, it'll be like people that you've never met. And I've been in this for a while. And I'm like, Justin, you're still pulling people that I have never, ever seen before. So as we were getting ready for the show, and we were just starting, and there was this one guy, he just kept singing. And I was like, I don't know if he's trying to pick up girls or not. But he don't have to start singing right now. He can stop, he can cut it out. And he just kept singing. I was like, listen, brother, you're gonna run out of songs when it's time. You're not even performing. We didn't even open the doors yet. You don't have to sing. But he just kept singing. And he had a beautiful voice. And throughout this time, I went over and told Justin, I was like, Justin, listen, I don't know who the guy is. He has an awesome voice, but he keeps singing. He's not gonna have any voice when it's time to sing. And when it was actually his time, he shut me up completely and belted out, I think, 3 beautiful, beautiful songs. And he's an amazing singer, songwriter, and also shares his love for Justin. So please put your hands together right now, right now, right now, right now, right now for Steve Chandy.
Star until the earth and decides that distance will keep them warm and straight the fire. He decides to stay. Anyway, his arms shiver, fall asleep until the side, but he dares not move, 'cause her voice comes to life, and the light come through her skin and step beneath those eyes, and he begins to stay a little while, and all the while turns to memories to keep him up at night, and the night insanity, her light burns so bright, and the darkness cannot comfort his soul tonight, and he stays a little while singing, my chest is on fire, breathing in cold air of desire. What am I fighting for tonight? And is it for your voice to say that I'm fine? Won't you tell me? that you're fine. Won't you stay a little while? Hospital bed, lights glaring into her eyes. Won't you hold my hands back as I hold on to yours tight? And please don't leave me, don't leave me for the light. Would you open your eyes and stay with me a while? And all the while turns to memories that keep him up at night. And the night, insanity, her light burns so bright. And the darkness cannot comfort his soul tonight. And stays a little while singing. My chest is on fire, breathing in the cold air of desire. What am I fighting for tonight? And is it for your voice to say that you're fine? Won't you tell me that you're fine? Won't you stay a while, please? Don't leave me for the light. Without you, I cannot survive. But God, if it be your will, then take her into flight. God, stay with me a while. God, stay with me a while. God, stay with me a while. 'Cause I'm not fine. Chest is on fire, breathing in the cold air of desire. What am I fighting for tonight? And is it for your voice? Oh, no. And is it for your voice? Oh, and is it for you? Oh God, stay with me a while. Stay with me a while. Oh God, 'cause I'm not fine.
Give it up for Steve Chandy. Oh man. One thing we haven't mentioned much, we'll say this as we bring up the next artist. Justin was one of the hardest workers I've ever met on this scene, ever. Like, I just really need to say that. It's not. I've seen people in Philly not come to Philly events because they didn't feel like it. Justin got in his vehicle a lot of nights, crossed that bridge, came over time after time to Philly to hit the stage, to really connect with artists and really do the work. So a lot of things, a lot of recognition he's gotten, the artists he's got to meet, and just kind of this legacy that he left us with was because he earned it and he put that work in. So I just really wanted to acknowledge that real quick. And as I'm looking at these artists, I'm thinking about these dope artists that are coming up here. I'm like, man, like how do you connect with so many people? It's because he was doing the work. The next artist coming up is also like one of my favorite artists I met through Justin. Y'all give it up, show a lot of love for Beat Peace.
How's it going, folks? I'm not going to be singing today. It's hard to sing at times like this, yeah?
Something in your eyes, a
melody so strong, it's like every love song is
So, Justin and I, we, do a lot of shows together.
it's like a piece of heaven now. It releases every doubt I was feeling. I'm better cause I know you. Whatever we should grow.
And we always did this funny thing together where he would book me on his show, and actually, I booked him onto my show, and when I would try to give him his money, he would give it back and say, donate it to a nonprofit that we were raising money for. It was always such a blessing for him to give that. So every time he booked me on his show, I would do the same thing. The money that he gave me, I'd give it right back to him. We always had a spot for each other on each other's shows.
It's something in your style, so regal and divine, a queen in your past.
So I know that he's saving me a spot.
There's never enough time. Then found by the sun shining bright within. I'm better cause I know.
I want to say something right now. This is Sap Sounds. And can y'all put your hands together for Sap? And that's Sap Sounds. He has a group called Be Peace, and Be Peace is just full of positive energy. I mean, to share a story, and I know Sap wanted to say, would have said if he could for a second. To share a story, they do a nonprofit, and they give kids in West Philly, North Philly, well, all around Philly, actual guitar, piano, violin, whatever. They give them lessons, free lessons. Free lessons. So when Justin was donating the money, it was for those lessons. Justin donated a guitar also. I think it was for a piano. He donated a piano. And that's the type of love that he's shown. Like, so many people connect on different things. We connect on the laughter, we connect on being in the family, the brother growing up, and then there's a lot of us that connect on the entertainment, the music, the feeling, and what embodies that whole feeling right there. And that's one of the main things that a lot of us are pushing out, is that not only did we know him, just to say that's Justin, but we knew what he shared, that heart, that feeling, that personality, that reflection of all that he loved and adored. And you felt that every single time he was around you. It got to a point where he didn't even have to say any words. You just felt it. And that's what, so please put your hands together one more time for Sap Sounds. To go along, Sap, you going not have to cry like that no more, dude. We was holding it still for a while. Got us about to break down. To add on to this right now, I need y'all to put your hands together for this brother that's about to come up, and we had some dope laughs and some hilarious moments. So I need y'all to make some noise right now for Ray. Every time I look around, I just want to laugh because I always think about movies.
I was good until my man right here came in here. But so many things I can say about Justin. Like, I mean, this guy. He was my balance. He was the one. He was the one that, I would say stuff and I didn't care. Like, I just say whatever. Like, it didn't matter if it hurt anybody's feelings. He was that one that gave me that calm and was like, yo, chill, Ray, not that's too far or whatever. He was the funny one. I mean, this guy I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just glad. When I called him, my mother and my sister told me to call him. And I wasn't going to, because if you know Justin's gonna do what he want to do. He's not, he's not gonna listen. So she was like, yo, just call him, tell him to go to the emergency room. So I called him. I said, yo, Just, go to the emergency room, man. Let me, go to the emergency room. He's like, nah, man, I got an appointment tomorrow. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I was like, okay, cool. Call me tomorrow. Let me know how things work out. Okay, right. I said, I love you. He said, I love you too. And that's the last time I talked to him. I thank God that I called him because, if I didn't call him and I got this news, it would have been insane. But, Justin was just one of those ones that if you know Justin, I'm almost 100% certain everybody in here has an inside joke with Justin. Like, there's something that only you guys know about. He was that type of person where he loved everybody. If you didn't like Justin, something was wrong with you. That's just it. I don't care what anybody says, something was wrong with you. He was just that person where he was just contagious. If he came, the room, like when him and I came together, it was just so many laughs, tears, crying, laughing, and that's what I didn't want to see him, after he passed, because I remember Justin laughing and joking. That's it. It was just laughing and joking and singing. And I remember growing up, he would come up with songs over anything. I'll never forget. I remember the time we were riding somewhere, and he was just like, he would say, mommy and daddy, Danielle, Ray, and Justin. And that was it. And it just was a melody that we always sang when we would go out to travel and everything. And he just, I don't know, man, he just inspired me. He always encouraged me to sing and write and be creative. And he always knew what to say. Even if you felt like he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, he knew exactly what to say in your situation. Like, his wisdom was just like beyond his years, and I would, you just be like, yeah, you're right, man, that does make sense. And he valued everyone's opinion. He would listen, and I think the young lady said he didn't judge you. He never judged. He was just like, yo, well, listen, I feel you if that's what you want to do, or he would give your opinion. His opinion. A couple of corrections though. The Evans sister that came up here and said that he loved, that's not true. He loves you more, that's not true. And with Tabitha, I said he passed away. I didn't say he died. So let's get those corrections in. Whoever's taking notes, let's jot that down. I'm gonna miss him. That's my brother, man. Like, that's my brother. I'm gonna miss him. We from wrestling back in the day, the WWF, growing up, to just, the fights. And the thing is like when we got older, my sister, my oldest sister, and Justin, we didn't get in arguments. And if we got in arguments, the next moment, it was just done. It was like no one held a grudge. It was never a time where, I know my mother used to tell us, like, all we had was each other sometimes. Like, sometimes that's all you're gonna have. So we had each other's back. He had my back, I had his back. This dude would take somebody's head off of me. And in a minute, if I'm talking about when he was like 6 years old, he beat up somebody for me because he said he messed with his brother or something like that, he said. And then, I'll never forget, we were in the mall and we were coming out and we were just laughing. And some guy said, shut up. When I tell you Justin went over to this dude's face, who wasn't too small from Justin, but he came in and I said, yo, Justin, come on, man. I always felt like I had to control Justin because, Justin, he was a good guy, but, touch him wrong. Like, he was a big dude, and even I was like, yo, I'm gonna just run from him because you're not gonna catch me. You're not gonna catch me, I know that. But anyway, I thank all of y'all for coming because this was a surprise to all of us. I know everybody's still waiting for him to say, nah, yo, I'm just joking, and come out. But, I just thank all of y'all for coming because this was, I know he touched everybody. He touched everybody, and everybody loved him, and he's gonna be missed, but his music lives on. He was beyond his years, and I'm just grateful that he was my brother. I'm grateful that he allowed me to show him off, because that I did daily. Whenever he was with me, I would be like, yo, go get your guitar. I don't care if we're at the mall. Yo, go get your guitar. He'd look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yo, go get it, man. Show him what you can do. But that was my boy. I love him, and I love you, Justin.
I give it up for Ray Graham one time, man. It's actually the first time I got choked up in the back hearing from the brother. I actually have a blood brother as well. When I call Justin my brother, I know like what that is to call somebody who's not your blood brother your brother. So no, definitely no disrespect to the family. Like y'all already know, it's like he's a brother too, and it's weird because Justin was such a good friend. He was along with my brother Kerwin, one of my other brothers, the third brother. It was like these two dudes like really just like in the same age group on the scene. We know a lot of people in their 40s, we know a lot of people in their 20s, but that early 30s, it was like we would have these conversations and would learn a lot about each other. And it's interesting, your sister, she talks about being jealous of him being over. Sometimes I'm jealous that I didn't get to grow up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I hear these stories, and it's like, because he'll tell stories all the time. He talks about y'all all the time. You know what I mean? Like, somebody talks about his family, like, quite a bit. And so it's like, really, it's a really good thing to see that. And right now, connecting all these faces with the names and the stories and all that has been amazing as well. I'm going to bring up Justin's sister now. She's next up to the mic. I want y'all to give it up for Laurel Danielle Ram.
I am going to share one poem, but I would also like to bring up Dr. Naila Gilliam to give reflections. Good afternoon. I am, first of all, I want to say that I probably didn't know Justin as long as many of you knew Justin, but when Justin, if you knew Justin, when he came into your life, he made a major impact, a lasting impression. And it's been about 4 years, I guess, or so, when Justin came to House of Reawakening Minds for an open mic. And we fell in love with Justin. He came back, he and Danielle began coming back sometimes on Sundays, and I was looking at a video about a week before his transition, and he was trying to teach us a call and response, and we were doing very poorly. But Justin's voice was just, I looked back and I said, I wish we had just shut up and let him sing so I could have some sweet memories. But when Danielle asked me, I sent her my condolences on Facebook. I was just devastated. And she asked me if I could give some reflections, and then she asked me if I could do a poem. And I didn't have anything in my current book. And I said, well, I'll give reflections about how much we just loved him at the House of Reawakening Minds, but if something comes up that I can share from a poetic standpoint, I will. And yesterday, something came, so I don't want to upstage her and her poem, but this poem, I was listening to someone who basically said that many of the greatest artists, and they were talking about Michael Jackson and Noel Pointer, you all remember him, the violinist, and others who had left what we think is too soon. There was something about those that come from the angelic realm. This particular person said, I just stumbled on a video on YouTube, who said that many of these musicians have a mission to come and they're really angels. And they can't stay past 50. And so they were giving, Michael did his This Is It at 50, and he thought he was going to do a show, but when he said this was it, it was it. And they talked about Noel Pointer and some others. And so this little reflection came to mind with regard to Justin. And so it's a poem that I wrote last night, and it's kind of in two parts. It's like me introducing it, and then it's like what Justin might say. Can I share it? Okay. Thank God for phones, cell phones. All right, I just call it Ode to Justin. You said you were better because you knew, but we're so much better because of you. Your music could soothe the savage beast while touching the heart of the greatest and least. Justin, you are an angel so divine who could not stay here beyond your time. You graced this world with melodious sounds, the likes of which could not be found until you said, send me, I'll go.
they'll be so much better because I know one day I'll return to the sweet realm sublime, and those of you I left behind will have sweet memories to carry on. I lived, I loved, but now I'm gone. One day we all will reunite in the divine presence of universal light, who is the source of everything. Love, Justin Graham, I came to sing. Thank you so much.
Okay. So thankful that we experienced Justin D. Graham. His presence has been a present that was present for us to experience. If I were to imagine that he could speak to us right now, this is what I imagine he would say while using the titles and a few lines from a few of his songs. You must be the one, the one, the one, the one. You must be the one. You must be the one. And you, and you, and I too. We must be the one to do what we came here on earth to do. I came here to live life and sing you a love song. A love song that I sung to you, but I sung it to you, but I sung it to me, for me as well. I had to sing it because music is not only what I can do, but it's who I am. Because I am music. I am harmony. Harmony in melodic notes. Harmony as in peace and love that brings togetherness, a united front. And that's why I love unity in our communities. But let's go further. Have you ever been here before? I know I have. My sister has said over and over again, I am an old soul. I have been here before, which is why I knew how to connect to your soul with my smile, my humor, creativity, through harmony. I always had a song to sing from a child when I told my mom, Mom, I sing like a grown-up now. I was about 3 years old. So I sang, I got the joy down in my heart. I always had a song to sing from a child to a man. Always had a song to share. And most of those songs I wrote were showing you my heart and yours. It was a gift of intelligence to connect to and through the source and strike a harmonious chord that would have you wanting more, which is why I'm in love with music, and you are too. Maybe not as much as me, but I wanted you to come with me inside my soul and listen to the tones, the melodies I felt and heard that came to me naturally, that made you want to find your way back home. Home to me is whatever your gifts are that keep you connected to all that you are, that help you touch your very own soul and the soul of others. Naturally. And finally, this earth was not my home. So I had to journey on. But you can meet me at the chill spot, baby. Where's the chill spot? The chill spot is inside you. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. And remember, here. Have you ever been here before? Have you ever? Yes, I have. I am an old soul. I knew how to connect to your soul and still do. You have my music. And music is not only what I can do, but it's who I am. I am love, I am music, with harmonious melodies, covered in unity, with a major dose of humor and creativity. In so many ways, I am Justin D. Graham. I am music. I live my music. It's who I am. I am eternal, and I love you.
Closing remarks. I'm not gonna make this long. I can talk for hours, days. I'm using my notes. I wrote them down for a reason. One, and really hoping I don't overstep my place in this saying this. The, Justin's mother mentioned this at the beginning. Like, we gotta talk about our health more. We gotta really like have those conversations, and not in private. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like as families, as groups, as friends. You know what I mean? We have to like have those conversations more. And I would say like celebrate when we do go to the doctors. You know what I mean? Let's not act like it's a normal thing that we do all the time. So I hope we're having that conversation. I hope this can be a big of a wake-up call in a certain way. Real quick, I just want to acknowledge Giovanni Marie, who did the painting here. She's a fellow artist out of New Jersey. You know, we're doing a chill spot today as a memorial service. There's a couple people in the house tonight representing the Poets Art Gallery, which was the most recent home of the chill spot. So I want to give it up for them, give a shout out to them. Again, to the family, thank you for allowing me to be one of your hosts today. Definitely gonna miss Justin. Realized literally yesterday there was gonna be a lifelong thing of missing him. Haven't lost a friend in my adult years. The last time I lost a friend was I was 19 years old. I'm 32 now. And just realized yesterday, like, nah, it's really just not gonna be the same. And it's gonna be a process. But through it all, really feel blessed to have known Justin for the time I did know him, to have experiences that I did have with him. And I'm just thankful for that. And that's all I have to say.
So I have an aunt. She passed away 2 weeks ago. Then I got the news about Justin. Then 3 days ago, my daughter's mother's grandfather passed. So I was just in the mood of, I really don't want to hear no more about anybody else leaving. But that's not what my words are going to be right now. My words are going to be right now is, I need everybody to just look around, just look around, look around, just look around. Like literally turn your head around and look. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to do it again. I want you to do it again. And I want you to just say hi to whoever your eyes fall on. Just say hello.
Hello. I see you.
We don't know. We don't know. God said you neither know the time nor hour. We don't know. We don't know. And you always feel that feeling of, like I was telling her that, I was like, yo, the last time I talked, he texted me. He said, yo, bro, what we doing tonight? And I was like, yo, I gotta work. I got a private event to do. And he was like, all right, get that money. I was like, yeah, I'm chilling. He was like, oh, you ain't working? I'm pretty sure you be working. I was like, yeah, I am actually working. I got a private event to do. And he was like, all right, we'll get that money. All right. was like, we'll get up soon. I'll catch you right like Saturday or Sunday. No, not gonna catch you Saturday or Sunday. Not going, cause it's that. So you don't know when the time is. Go in your phones tonight, on your way walking to your car, in your house, hug your family, hug your friends, call somebody, text somebody, tell them you love them. How's that saying go? We never smell the roses until we don't have them, or something to that extent. You love, what is it? Never smell the roses till you can't smell them, no, something like that. I don't know. You know you know what I mean. We don't know. But that was Justin that just did that just now. That wasn't. He'd have whispered in my ear like, yeah, that's right. I was like, tell about I laughed at Justin. It wasn't right. That wasn't right. But thank you anyway. But you don't know. We don't know. And just tell somebody. Go and tell your family, friends. Everybody, tell them you love them. Tell them how much you care. And check in on them. Because we never know what somebody is dealing with. We never know what somebody is dealing with. I want to say thank you to the family. We love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for letting us host this right now, because this really losing a brother. Like, not even, and I don't want to say losing, take that back. Really separating from a brother at this point, because when I see him again, and when we see him again, he'll be chilling at his chill spot with his guitar and his beautiful wings, and he'll be playing and singing just as heavenly as he always did. We thank everybody for coming here and supporting, because this is the goal. When we put out different shows and different events, we always want to fill up with newcomers, old faces, new faces, people that might not have known us on this singing side. They might have known us just on a personal side. And the ones that didn't know the personal, they'll get to see that. I'm excited and thankful for this, because some of the stuff, we didn't get to see, like KP said, we didn't get to see. And everybody loved them in our own way. The last thing I'm gonna say is, one of the funny stories, huh? Yeah, they okay. See, this I love it. This last thing I'm going to say for me is we were sitting in the room, and we were singing in the room, and there's a group of us, and music choice was on the screen, and the music just rolls by, and the different artists. And this is how funny it was. Every time the music came up, it was a group of us, and every time the music came up, a different artist, Justin did this voice. He did like a little British accent, and he was giving the life. Like, so by the picture, he was giving the life. Like, hello, I am Justin Bieber. I do not like to go to the store. Like, it was hilarious. It was so funny. And he just had that way of making you laugh, and I didn't know I was going to be in tears. And I got to show you all that video. It's hilarious. But that's what I'm remembering. I'm not remembering the negative. I'm remembering all the positive, all the fun and filled times, all the music and everything. And that's what this time is here, that you're at this chill spot. You mentioned the musicians, and I just want to bring them up. Darnell, come on up. Shell, come up. Come on. And did Bill leave yet? Bill, where you at? Stand up, can you stand up? Bill. The first time I met Justin was with these fine people, and we were at an event, and it never stopped, right, Bill? Like, it never stopped. The love never stopped. I'm getting long-winded because there's so much I'm gonna say, but that's mine. And while y'all up here, y'all want to say anything?
I just
just want to say, I am the drummer for those who always came out to the shows and everything and see me banging on the little snare drum. That's me. But I just want to say, I will miss my brother. I will miss, everything. I've known him for like 9 years. I'm gonna miss every birthday because he's been there with me every birthday for 9 years. I think my past birthday is the only one he missed, you know. And, I love him. We love the family. We love y'all. And that's about it.
All right. It's my turn. No, I thank God for you guys. I really do. I really appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity to even come up and say something. I do appreciate the time I spent with them. It was how long I've been married? She had to leave early. 10 years. 10 years. So I met Justin 10 years? Oh no, 11 years ago. The lady that introduced us, she was like, I'm looking for somebody. I know somebody that's looking for somebody that sing. And I was like, all right, who this guy? She was like, oh, he work here. He wear the sweatsuit with the afro, and he drive the forklift. I was like, oh, he drive the forklift. I know what you talking about. He sing? Like he don't look like a singer. I was like, all right, he sing? He was like, yeah. So she introduced us, and the next day she was gone. She got fired. So we was like, was it fate? That was her only purpose, was to introduce us? And she was gone. It was like, she ain't work here no more. I'm like, man. But that year, it was like, dang, this guy can really sing and he's really real. And I was like, without even really knowing who he was, I was like, yo, you gotta sing at my wedding. No charge. He was like, yeah, bro, I got you. He sang the song Butterflies as my wife walked down the aisle. And that's why I picked the song to sing. Because that's the song I remember him singing on the best day of my life. He sang that for me and my wife. And I'm like, there's no other song. Thank you. He's that kind of guy, and I will always miss him, but he was the funniest pop locker. If you ever know, I be like, bro, you really know how to dance, but you just not gonna dance. But I just love him. You guys take this microphone. I keep going. You wanna go? All right.
I just wanted to share, I guess, probably my favorite memory. Like the same way DJ kind of came across Justin, Dante introduced me to Justin as well. We kind of met back in, 2012, I think? Like right when I graduated, like 2011. Yeah. Yeah. But no, ever since I met Justin, I've had nothing but great experiences. And I remember he was like, we're doing the Apollo. And I said, what? I was just I never, I always wanted to sing, but I just never had the courage to get up and do it. And he's like, no, you can do it. You're really great. I want you to sing with me. You can do it. You're great. I was like, okay. And then we did the Apollo. We made top 5. We didn't win, but just to have the experience to be on the Apollo stage and touch the wood and you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, y'all know what I mean, And and to be in the car with these guys, they would have you laughing all the way there. Just they're hilarious, bumping Ryan Leslie and CeeLo Green, because he loves CeeLo Green, always would play him in the car. And we would just be laughing on the way there. And even though we didn't win, we still had an amazing time. And I think that's probably, they we came back and they booed us and we're like, okay, this thing is rigged.
such a good time, and it was just, we just had a lot of really good experiences, and he was just like such an amazing person, and like really pushed me to go into my element more. So
Y'all give it one more time for the musicians. Oh, glad y'all got to speak. Again, thank you to the family. It's an honor. We've made our closing remarks, and we're going to close out with you all, the family, mother, father, sister and brother, siblings. Y'all give it up for the family, please, one more time. Is this a niece? You know something about
I want to call my niece and nephew up, Greg and Yesenia Fletcher, because I helped to raise them, and they grew up with Justin like sister and brother. Greg Fletcher, Yesenia Fletcher. Greg, where are you? Oh, okay, I see you. We want to thank you all for coming and supporting us. And as the guys were talking, I thought of Justin. Yes, he was a dancer. You all, maybe many of you all didn't know that. When we would go to Hershey Park, he was a little child. I mean, he may have been 2 or 3. He would get on the ground and start dancing, and people would start throwing money at him when he was just 2 or 3 years old. So he's always been an entertainer and a performer. Yesenia wanted to share something real quick.
So I just wrote a few words that I wanted to share, some thoughts that I wanted to share about my cousin with everyone here today. Laughter, creativity, and music. Those 3 words, in my opinion, are synonymous with Justin. They describe his essence. These are words that I, like many of you here today, will always attribute to, remember, and love most about him. I'll definitely remember the way that he would intricately and with great precision take apart and reload his imaginary firearm, for those of you who know and who've experienced that. Right before our very eyes, right? So it always came complete with the most detailed of sound effects and visual displays. I'll remember watching him ghost walk around the kitchen in his socks. I'll remember knowing whenever he was nearby because he was almost always humming a song and whispering flawless musical runs under his breath. I didn't get the pleasure of experiencing any of his later successes and performances live in person, but thanks to the beauty of technology and social media, I'm glad to have been able to enjoy and experience some of them from the comforts of our home in California and to share them with our 2 children. There's so many amazing qualities and subtleties of character that he revealed in some form or fashion to all of us at some point during his time spent here on this earth. I hope you enjoyed the few that I've shared here with you today, and I hope that you'll gather and store them in your minds with a collection of all the other great stories and memories that were shared here today. I'm very honored and very blessed to have known Justin. I pray that his essence stays with us all, that he never be forgotten, and that his soul rests in peace with our Heavenly Father. Bless.
I just want to share one story with you about Justin. It's the last story. It's the last story for me. Oh, well, last story for me. But anyway, about a month, my birthday's in December, and Justin and the kids were all supposed to come down to see me, but only 2 showed up, was Danielle and Justin. So he came to spend the week with me, which is quite unusual for Justin. He don't usually travel like that. So he came, he spent the week a few days earlier with me, and he and I was able to share and to do a lot of things, talk about things. The purpose of them coming was for me to share with them what would happen to me in my demise. Something happened to me. I want them to know where to go and what to do and all the things. Well, not once did I think to ask them what would happen or what they would want, because I thought about me going first. So I'm saying to parents with older adults, children, you really need to have that conversation with your child and let them know, in advance something should happen to them, because we don't plan for them. I didn't expect ever be talking about my son being gone. I always thought it would be me first. That's why I prepared that way. So that was the first thing I wanted to share. But the best thing was that Jess and I had a great time at the beach, and went out. He loved the beach. We all went down there with Zuri and Danielle. We at the beach, and so Justin was really into it. He promised me he's going to come back. Yeah, I'm coming back. So when he left, he came down. Did all the things we had to do. He left. I said, Justin, he said, I'm coming back down. I promised him. Okay. So what happened was, obviously, he didn't make it back this way, but he is coming back with me, and I'm going to leave a portion of him at the beach. So I just want y'all to know that I love my son very much. It's difficult to be burying a child. I didn't want to go to this situation at all. I love Justin.
Justin was he's my cousin, but he's like a brother to me. We grew up together. I moved from New York to Virginia back in '97, and we lived with my aunt and my uncle. And it was a hard transition, but it was for Justin. We were the same age, so it made it easy. We lived in the same room together and slept next to each other, and jokes. And of course, everybody says that. I think he's one of the reasons why I started doing comedy. So it was just always me and him joking and laughing and just cutting around. So I'm grateful for the times we spent together and the things that we had in common. We had a lot in common, and I'm just grateful to have him, in my life for the time he was there for me. And it's just a blessing, and I'm grateful, and I thank you guys for coming out.
I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who came out, who participated, those who showed love. We wanted this the way he would have wanted it. We wanted this the way he would have done it. And so to all the performers, I'm so, so, so thankful for you all. He loved each and every one of you. And I want to give a special thanks to Aunt Faith and Aunt Faith and Bill, Cousin Bill, whom he lived with. They opened up their hearts and their home, and we're just very thankful for you too. We'll forever be grateful for you too. We're thankful for everyone. I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to leave anyone out. We're thankful for everyone. We love you all as Justin did. We're thankful for Shelly, the funeral director. Thank you.
Khalid for the radio recording, and we thank everybody for coming out and helping us. My family from so far, I really appreciate you all. You know I love you. Thank you. From North Carolina and Kelly and everybody. My family's here from the school. My PS2 Punk class reunion members are all here. They all came to share with us. Thank you all for coming out. I love you all.
I'd rather wake up to than you, 'cause you're proof that God is real, and nothing else I'd rather wake up with than a praise that no God could feel. 'Cause he tells me how to love you, he tells me how to touch you, he tells me how to show you just who you are. He gives me ways to woo you, creative ways to woo you, to prove you're the eternal queen of my heart. What more can a man ask for than a father like you to bless me with a queen straight out of my dreams? You're the perfect one come true. It's almost like your face is a beautiful oasis. You take me far away from here. I don't know if I can take it, being emotionally naked. 'Cause you stripped away all fear when you told me that you loved me. You said that when you hug me, it's like someone's shown you just who you are. You love without expecting, you're faithful in reflecting the life of the eternal King of my heart. In my idle time, I've seen this in my mind over and over again. A love that's so divine, transcending space and time, when my lover is my best friend. Even your flaws are fine with me, they balance all of mine. 'Cause we've got that perfect blend, and I vow to never lose the romance. 'Cause every time I get a chance, I'ma tell you that I love you, and everything that I do, not just the words, but I live everything I say. Be gentle when I touch you, expecting nothing from you except the love you've given